I know, man. You gave it your all, and you still lost her. And that pain, it doesn't just sit in your chest, it's everywhere. It's in the silence when you're lying awake at night, in the pit of your stomach when you check your phone and see nothing from her. It's in every memory that keeps replaying in your head, making you wonder what went wrong, what you could have done differently. Maybe you begged, maybe you promised to change, maybe you gave her space thinking she'd come back, but none of it worked. And now, you feel stuck, trapped between regret and desperation, searching for something, anything, to fix this. But listen to me, right now, you're looking at this all wrong. This isn't the end, it's a turning point. You want her back? Then stop chasing, stop drowning in what ifs. It's time to do what actually works. Let's get into it. Point 1, reclaim your strength. Look man, I need you to hear me on this. A lot of guys lose themselves in relationships. They start out strong, confident, independent, but slowly, without even realizing it, they become too available, too agreeable. They start relying on their woman for validation, for happiness, for their sense of worth. And when she starts pulling away, they crumble. Sound familiar? It happens more than you think. And history, it repeats itself. Let me tell you a quick story. 1347, Italy. A nobleman named Francesco della Torre. He had everything, a powerful name, status, respect, and a beautiful wife who adored him. But over time, he changed. He became obsessed with keeping her happy, terrified of losing her love. He stopped being the strong, decisive man she first fell for. And what happened? She lost attraction. Eventually, she left him for a man who never wavered, someone who stood firm in himself. Francesco, he spiraled, he lost everything, and he never recovered. But here's the thing, you're not Francesco. You have a choice here. You can keep breaking down, chasing after her, losing yourself more and more. Or you can take a hard look in the mirror and get back to the man you were before you put her on a pedestal. The man she fell for wasn't needy. He wasn't desperate. He had confidence, a purpose, and a strong sense of self. And that's what made him attractive in the first place. It's time to get that back, right now. Point 2, give her the space to feel your absence. I need you to hear this, man. Right now, she doesn't miss you. Maybe she cares. Maybe she even feels guilty. But that deep, aching longing, that pull that makes someone rethink everything, she's not feeling it. And do you know why? Because you haven't given her the chance to. Let me paint you a picture. There's this guy. Every morning, every night, without fail, he'd text his girl. Just a simple good morning or good night. It was their thing. Then they broke up, but he kept doing it. He thought it would remind her of what they had, of how much he cared. But to her, it became background noise, predictable, easy to ignore. Then, one day, he stopped. No messages, no calls, just silence. And something shifted. She found herself checking her phone, wondering, why isn't he reaching out? Is he moving on? That curiosity turned into doubt. That doubt turned into missing him. And that's how attraction works. Listen, you need to be willing to disappear for a while. Stop checking her social media. Stop reacting to her life. Stop making it easy for her to have you in the background without actually being with you. When you pull away, you give her space to feel your absence. And that's when she starts to notice what's missing. Point 3, redefine yourself. For you, not for her. Listen man, a lot of guys get this part wrong. They think, if I change, she'll come back. They hit the gym, pick up new habits, and act like a whole new person. But deep down, they're just doing it to win her back. That's the wrong mindset, and she'll see right through it. If this breakup exposed your flaws, your insecurities, your lack of ambition, your emotional instability, good. That means you've been given a gift. The truth. You now see the cracks in yourself that you couldn't see before, but what you do next, that's what matters. You don't evolve for her. You evolve because the man you were before wasn't good enough, not just for her, but for yourself. So what's the move? Level up, hit the gym, not just to look better, but to develop discipline. Start that project you've been putting off. Get serious about your career, develop new skills, meet new people, become a man you respect. And here's the best part. When she finally looks back, when she finally sees the man you've become, you won't even care if she wants you back. Because by that point, you'll have built a life so solid, so fulfilling, that whether she's in it or not, you win either way. Point 4, show, don't tell. Let's get one thing straight. Women don't believe words, they believe actions. You can say, I've changed, I'm different now. I get it, but if nothing about you actually shifts, it means nothing. Let me tell you about a guy I knew. He was in a long-term relationship, thought everything was fine, until she left. She told him she needed a man with ambition, with direction, and what did he do? He begged, he promised, he swore up and down that he'd change, but nothing happened, and eventually, she moved on. That was his wake-up call. Not her words, not her leaving, losing her for real. That's when he finally stopped talking about change and became change. He built a business, traveled, focused on his health, became sharper, more confident, more in control. Fast forward a year, he saw her again at an event. She barely recognized him. She couldn't believe how different he was. And suddenly, she was the one drawn back in. But by then, he had outgrown her. That's where you need to be. Not in a place where you're waiting for her to notice you've changed, but in a place where you don't even care if she does. Because when you actually grow, when you actually become better, not for her but for yourself, you won't need to convince anyone. She'll see it. Everyone will. Point 5. Be ready to walk away for good. This is the hardest part, but it's also the most powerful. You can't truly get her back if you're afraid of losing her forever. Read that again. As long as she feels like you're waiting, like you're sitting in the background hoping she'll come back, she has no urgency to do anything. There's no reason for her to second guess, no reason for her to miss you, because in her mind, you're still there. But the second she realizes you're really gone, that you've stopped chasing, stopped watching, stopped waiting, that's when everything shifts. See, the most valuable thing a man has isn't his words, his efforts, or even his love. It's his ability to choose where he invests his energy. And when she sees that you're willing to take that energy away from her, that's when she'll feel the weight of losing you. So here's the final lesson. If you've done everything I've told you, if you've rebuilt yourself, if you've grown, if you've stopped chasing and started thriving, she will notice, she will feel it. And when that moment comes, you get to decide, does she even deserve another shot? Because by then, you might realize you never lost her, she lost you. Lastly, I need you to really let this sink in. You can't control her, you can't force her to come back, but you can control yourself, how you grow, how you level up, how you carry yourself moving forward. Most guys, they stay stuck, they wait, they hope, they check her social media, they live in the past. But the men who actually turn things around, they don't wait, they take action. Because when you reclaim your strength, when you give her space, when you redefine yourself, not for her, but for you, that's when the power shifts. And when that day comes, when she finally sees the man you've become, you'll have to ask yourself one thing. Does she even deserve another shot? Because by then, you might realize you never lost her. She lost you.